Good morning, everyone. I'm Jim Hanley. Our focus this morning is on a new day for psychiatric rehabilitation services and Crisis Link. They've merged to provide additional resources and innovations to help those dealing with serious mental health issues. And our guest this morning in the studio, Wendy Gradison. She is CEO of PRS, and Julia Stevens, formerly Director of Crisis Link and now Director of Business Development for PRS. Welcome to Viewpoint to you both. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Before we get going with our conversation, we've got the full half hour devoted. I'd love to share with our viewers a real success story here. And this one has to do with a video of PSRDC Recovery Academy. It was featured in the NBC4 Changing Minds campaign.
Look closely. The tattoos on Dana EBS's face are of tears, telling symbols of a sad, mad life spent growing up on the streets of Southeast D.C. Now, at age 30, her turnaround runs deeper than the makeup that covers the marks. The past, though, still tough to forget.
I grew up trying to make money any way I can for my daughter, doing so many wrong things to so many people, good people.
Pay me, pimp hard, a reference to the nights she was paid to drive prostitutes from job to job. There was also breaking into houses, stealing cars, selling drugs, and dealing with a mental illness she didn't know she had. Her first breakdown, age 16, a year after having her baby.
I was trying to kill myself. I was trying to end it. That was it. I was trying to leave. I wanted to leave the earth.
Not long after being hospitalized, it was back to being homeless. The depression turned to anger, and that's when her bipolar disorder peaked.
One day, the person I was with, I really beat them up really badly. I didn't get arrested, but what happened was I lost that person.
You wouldn't even remember some of this?
I wouldn't. It was so recurrent. At one point, I got so afraid, and that's when I went to go get help.
Distraught and lost, she stumbled into a local library and looked up mental health resources online. Eventually, it would lead her here to the DC Recovery Academy in Southeast. Inside, a lot of smiles, laughing, clapping. Only a year old, the center is already helping many young people with mental illness move on.
This is a collage, and it's called The Future is Here.
Dana comes 5 days a week and finds support with setting goals, life skills, and job searching.
The job board here is just a small piece of a big program here at the DC Recovery Academy that has a purpose to get people back to work and back to school. But that's only half of it. The bigger picture is getting them to stay there, and it's working.
Managing stress, managing depression, managing anxiety.
Thomas Schlupen is the director at the Academy, which serves those 18 to 35 years old. It's the group most likely to experience the first episode of psychosis, and also, according to Schlupen, one of the most underserved.
We really believe if we can intervene earlier with people who are developing mental illness, that we'll have greater successes and outcomes down the road.
Just look at Dana. In a year, she's gone from struggling on the street to getting her GED. Now, all eyes on a new dream of becoming a peer counselor, like a few people she's come to know.
Well, I'm really thankful that they have a place like this in the district.
How does it feel to know someone believes in you like that?
It feels great. It makes me want to keep going, keep going. It gives me fuel to keep going in a positive direction.
Angie Goff, News 4.
Wow, and a wonderful footnote. Her dream has come true. And tell us a little bit about Dana's dream. It was to get a job there, and lo and behold, she has success.
That's right. She is now a recovery support specialist, a peer counselor who provides services right there at our PRS DC Recovery Academy. And we found that peers who have lived experience of mental illness are among the most impactful folks who so much help our clients recover and rebuild their lives.
They have walked the walk, so they can pay it forward. Who better? We talked a little bit earlier about the importance of volunteers. She's going to be a paid staff member, but you count on volunteers to work with all of your clients. Is that right?
Absolutely, and especially, at least at this point in the Crisis Link program, that's now a program of PRS, we have over 100 volunteers answering the telephone hotline 24/7. So we could not do that. We couldn't help people in crisis around the clock without our volunteers.
Oh, that's great.
We also have wonderful volunteers serving on our board of directors and volunteers really helping us expand our capacity throughout our programs.
Fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about the merger and why it came to be and how it came to be.
Well, it was a year-long process, and we were really worried about protecting the critical services of Crisis Link, about ensuring their sustainability over the long haul. And you find that when you have a small nonprofit, there's an economy of scale if you can merge so that those backroom functions like IT, like human resources, like accounting, can be done more efficiently so that you can better meet mission. And that was how we began the discussion.
Right, right.
And what is the mission, the overall mission?
The overall mission of the merged organization is so that individuals who live with serious mental illness, who live with mild intellectual disabilities, substance use disorder, autism spectrum disorders, and individuals who face life crises can achieve safety, can recover, can become really integrated in their communities, and also achieve physical wellness. So that's what we're trying to do with all of the people we serve.
In a bigger world, a bigger family that you are now, does that mean not only more efficient, but you're going to have more resources and be able to reach more people?
Absolutely. When we don't have to worry about managing our infrastructure, we can focus on serving our clients and helping people and add innovative services. So it's been tremendous just in the first month.
That's fantastic. We're just getting started. Have to take a quick break. As we go to break, we'd like to put up on the screen the web address if you'd like to learn more for yourself, or if you know someone who needs a service, or if you'd like to volunteer perhaps. There's the web link. Just go to prsinc.org. We're coming right back on Viewpoint.
When you get a Honda Accord, you get more than just a car. You get a soundtrack for your morning commute, a better view of your surroundings, a way to stay connected while staying on track. And you're getting Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for a great price. So start something special at the Accord clearance event, where well-qualified customers can lease a 2014 Accord at $189 a month. Now at your Honda dealer.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Progresso.
Used to people have my kids loving vegetables.
Well, vegetables. Shh. Tastes better in our savory broth. Vegetables.
No, soup.
Oh, soup.
Loaded with vegetables, packed with taste. And now, try new Progresso Chili, slow-simmered, homemade taste.
Every single morning and again at night, brushing all of my teeth from the left to the right. So the plaque don't attack. As a matter of fact, I'm reaching all the way to the back, Jack. Brushing your teeth is the best way of keeping them clean, like all the people in the magazine. And you get your fresh breath, scrubbing all the germs till there's nothing left. Brush your teeth. Captain Smile says, brush your teeth. Captain Smile says, brush your teeth.
$70, $100, $125 a month? What can you save? 0 for 72 has been extended at your local Ford dealer. So discover America's favorite brand and get 0% financing for 72 months on thousands of Ford favorites. That's right, 0 for 72. That can lower your payment by up to $125 a month. That's up to $9,000 in finance savings. What can you save? Find out by September 30th at your local Ford dealer.
And welcome back to Viewpoint. Again, our focus this morning is PRS. It is the Psychiatric Rehabilitation Services, a wonderful program that is growing because of a recent merger. Talk about Crisis Link, which has merged now with PRS.
Right, now we call it PRS Crisis Link.
Okay.
And Crisis Link is a series of services or programs that really are there to help people during an immediate crisis and responding immediately. It's generally pretty short-term or brief interaction. Primarily, or initially at least, it was our crisis hotline that is open around the clock every day of the year. But then we've recently added an outbound calling. So in the crisis hotline, people call us.
Okay.
For our outbound calling, we're calling people in the community and checking in on them, or at least that's where we started, with seniors, making sure if they were isolated at home alone, that they were doing okay, that they hadn't fallen or
taking their meds.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then with our merger with PRS, we started looking at what would it be like to call people with serious mental illness, and how could we help support them remain in the community and in their homes. And that was a tremendous, we did a pilot actually during our vetting period and was very successful in the results from this daily call to people with serious mental illness.
And you know, one of the real challenges in mental illness is isolation, and to know that they have a place that they can turn to and people they can turn to can make such a tremendous difference. Who are you reaching out there? And I know your organization is big in Northern Virginia and in the district as well.
Well, last year we reached over 900 clients throughout Northern Virginia and DC, and Crisis Link had about 40,000 calls, I believe, last year. So we are reaching clients who are largely referred by mental health centers. We certainly have clients who find us themselves, like Dana did, but we have the core service agencies in Washington, D.C. in the district, and we also have the community services boards throughout Northern Virginia, the public mental health centers, that help connect clients with us.
That's wonderful. And it's easy to do. If someone wants to find out, we put up that web address. But what can they do? Can they pick up the phone? Is that the best thing to do?
They can call, they can email, and now with Crisis Link, they can text. We've added a texting component to Crisis Link, which is a really important addition for young people who prefer to text rather than call.
That's the teen texting hotline.
That's right.
And that's the way we find them communicating. And you've been at this for a number of years, both of you. Have you seen the stigma start to fade away in terms of reaching out for help or not?
It is slowly happening as more and more people are talking about their own personal experiences. And for example, Your Changing Minds initiative this year has been invaluable in letting so many people know that 1 in 4 people in the United States lives with some form of mental illness. And if only we could talk more openly about it, the way that we can about medical issues, more people would know where and how to find help, because there is help. We know how to help people recover and rebuild their lives.
And Crisis Link really steps in a crisis.
Absolutely.
So it is more short-term in that sense. Is that right?
Yes, and then we'll help them get connected to services such as those provided at the Recovery Academy or with supported employment. But I think that's another piece of reaching people and decreasing the stigma, is doing that in a way they're comfortable with, which is why that texting is so important, or maybe telephoning a senior who may be more connected to a phone than a younger person these days. So finding that way to reach out to them that's comfortable for them is most important.
Very important point. Good place to end for this segment, and we'll be right back because I want to talk jobs when we come back too. So stick around on Viewpoint. We're going to show that web address one more time here. If you'd like to learn more or maybe point someone in this direction or volunteer yourself, here it is.
Know that chasing performance can mean lower returns and fewer choices in retirement.
Know that proper allocation could help increase returns so you can enjoy that second home sooner.
Know the right financial plan can help you save for college and retirement. Hi.
Know where you stand with PNC Total Insight, a new investing and banking experience with personalized guidance and online tools. Visit a branch, call, or go online today.
There are two kinds of families. The one you're born into and the one you build. With people who share your interests, your passions, your values and experience. Picture yourself with us and discover where you belong. Join our family of magnet nurses at MedStar Georgetown University Hospital.
What happens to your internet when everybody's online at once?
It's very frustrating.
Run into bandwidth issues.
Xfinity delivers the fastest in-home Wi-Fi.
Ever seen something download that fast?
Everyone can be on their devices all at the same time.
That's amazing.
So, flippin' fast.
Get the speed to power all your devices. Switch to the Xfinity X1 Triple Play for $79.99 a month for a year. Plus, upgrade to Blast for $10 more a month to get speeds up to 105 megabits per second. That's double the speed you get with Fios. Only at Comcast.com/switch today.
The Madeline bedroom is every little girl's dream.
Sweet dreams.
That's right, honey. Dresser, mirror, chest, and twin bed, only $9.98.
Now make magic.
Or take the upholstered bling bed instead. Still only $9.98.
I have a thing for bling.
Don't need the chest? Only $6.99.
My Madeline bedroom makes any little girl a princess.
No phony sales.
No phony gimmicks.
Just untouchable value.
And welcome back to Viewpoint. Again, we're talking about mental health and all the services that you provide through PRS. Dana, we were introduced to at the very top of the program. She suffered from bipolar disorder. What are the range of diagnoses that you deal with and work with?
It's quite broad. We work with folks who have serious mental illness diagnoses like bipolar, like major depression, like schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia. We work with folks on the high end of the autism spectrum, such as Asperger's disorder. And so many of our clients do self-medicate through the use of substances, so we work with what we call co-occurring disorders, which is where substance use disorders are coexisting with mental health disorders, and this is quite common, and so we work with that as well.
Are they assigned an individual person? Because some of these demand that, some of these issues do.
Everybody in our programs has an individual who's working with them, as well as a group of clinical staff who help them out. Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a lot of people. So how many people working in all when you factor in volunteers and everything too?
Well, we have almost 90 employees, and we have over 100 volunteers now with the addition of these really highly trained and skilled volunteers from Crisis Link.
What is the biggest difference that it's made so far? And you just had this merger back on August 1st. Is everybody starting to get used to it now and get into the rhythm of working together?
Absolutely, but I think it's just the resources. There were 5 of us running the day-to-day operations of Crisis Link. Now we have a team. You know, we can go to and ask for help and get it. So just that team that we've built has been a fabulous support.
And the 24-hour nature of things, you can still reach out 24 hours, and
absolutely.
How critical that is.
That is absolutely critical.
When we talk about suicide prevention, and that has been in the news of late, of course, with the death of Robin Williams, how important a part is that in your organization and what you do?
Oh, it's absolutely critical. It is so important that people who are experiencing suicidal thoughts know that there is help for them, that does not need to be the path that they choose. They need to go to the website, they need to find the phone number, they need to tell someone that they're struggling so we can help them. And I think the more people who come out with their own stories of struggle and recovering, more people will realize that they too can be helped. Because of the stigma, as we said earlier, that's such a challenge.
Right. Many people are afraid to even say that word suicide, much less talk about it with a loved one or a friend. And so to call someone that can comfortably talk with you about how you're feeling and perhaps think through some alternatives, again, it's vital. And generally we find the feeling of wanting to die by suicide doesn't last for days or weeks. It's a short-lived problem overall. And if we can help you through that, there is, you know, the other side.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Let's talk about a big part of your program, and that's supported employment.
Yes.
And the national figures, I think, are 1 in 10 will find success. You have a much better success rate.
That's right. The national statistics are dismal, that 1 in 10 people who live with serious mental illness are successfully employed. At PRS last year, close to 70% of our clients who wanted to work became employed, and close to 90% keep those jobs at least over a year. So what we do with supported employment, and it is called an evidence-based practice, is we help our clients choose, get, and keep competitive jobs. And we do that through employment specialists who are job coaches. And they help clients at every stage, building the resume, learning to interview, going to that first interview, working with the employer, deciding whether to disclose on the job and what the ADA says about that. And then we provide long-term supports, because what we've learned is one of the most difficult areas is keeping that job. So that's where our job coaches or our employment specialists come in and help.
That's fantastic. And how do you convince an employer who may be a little bit hesitant hiring someone with a mental health issue?
Yeah, you know, that's not been an issue because our employers are looking for qualified, effective employees, and our clients are. They are very eager to work. They are very
experienced
focused
and dedicated.
Exactly. So what we really just do is help clients find the kinds of jobs that they want and help them open those doors, because so frequently our clients lack the confidence. You know, mental illness hits young adults just at that point where they're beginning to discover where they want to be in life, whether it's through school or work. And so what we do, both with supported education and supported employment, is just to bring them back to the basics and help support them so they can get where they want to go.
And there's no bigger self-esteem builder than having a job.
That's
How
right.
important that is. All right, we've got to take one more break, and we'll be right back. As we go to break, if you'd like to learn more about the good work that PRS does, maybe you'd like to donate to their organization, here's their web address, prsinc.org. We'll be right back on Viewpoint.
All right, guys, are you ready? Cox game day. Woo! Wow.
Great, what games are on?
Are you kidding? With Contour from Cox and the fastest in-home Wi-Fi, we've got the Oklahoma game, the Florida game, the Louisiana game, and the latest episode of Chopped.
Please open your baskets.
Did you say Chopped?
Yeah, it's leftovers week.
Get a Cox bundle for $89.99 a month, including HBO. Add Cox Home Security and get free Pro install and equipment up to a $350 value. Plus, ask how to get a $200 prepaid card.
I'm sure she's nice. I'm sure she knows couples in our situation.
I just hope she has good coffee.
At least we're talking about it.
I was kidding.
I know, just try to be serious in there, okay?
Okay, you're right.
It's just gonna be simple steps. That's all we need.
Yeah. I just hope she doesn't tell us we have to work until we're 80.
It's time to talk about retirement conversation. Wells Fargo can help with My Retirement Plan, a tool that gives you manageable steps for retirement. We can do it with you or try it online. Together we'll go far.
Selling your car? Well, here's some great news from WeBuyAnyCar.com.
We buy any car, any make, any model, any age, any price from $50 to $100,000. We buy any car, any. We buy any car. Sell your car the easy way. Go online and sell it today. We buy any car. Find out how much your car's worth at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
The new way to sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com. Oh.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring. Progresso. Wow, soup people, I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding.
Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress.
Uh-huh. That's what I'm afraid of.
You don't love the dress?
I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
And welcome back to Viewpoint. Again, our focus this Sunday morning is on mental health and the psychiatric rehabilitation services in Northern Virginia and D.C. too. Let's talk a little bit about families. And you touch their lives daily, on a daily basis. And we're talking about adolescents and their parents as well.
Oftentimes, family members may recognize that their kid's not the same. They don't want to participate in the same activities they usually do. They're not eating, they're sleeping, but they don't know what to do. They don't know what it means. So they can call Crisis Link, and we can help them figure out what the next steps are. If this is a serious situation, if there might be a risk of suicide, and how to handle that. We'll even call the person they're worried about, their child, and talk with them, because of course we have so much experience in doing that it's much easier for us to do.
And you both had touched on a figure that is really heartbreaking when it comes to teenagers or adolescents and suicide versus the general population.
Yeah, that's right. The third leading cause of death for adolescents is dying by suicide, which is a totally preventable issue. And on a national level, it's the 10th leading cause of death in the country.
All the services that you provide, these are not inexpensive undertakings. How do you get your money, your funding, your resources?
We partner with local, state, and federal governmental organizations who are very supportive of the work that we're doing, but we cannot expect government to do it all. So we also do fundraising. We also benefit from our wonderful donors who want to help us meet the needs of our clients. We're